Moving on, I want to talk about, I think this was probably one of the best finals that I saw, and it's the mixed doubles final. It was actually one of the best matches that I saw at these Kumamoto Masters. It was a repeat of the Indonesia Open Super 1000 final between Dechapol and Supissara of Thailand and Thom Gicquel and Delphine Delrue of France. Yeah, no, absolutely amazing badminton. The speed, the pace, the tactical things. It was just excellent mixed doubles. The speed and intensity was just through the roof. It never really let up either. There was a small moment in the second, I think, where the French kind of tactically played so astutely that it almost caused the Thai pair to. They looked a little lost on court. I'll get to that in a second. But, it was brilliant. There's a clear vision. Um, you know, Great badminton. Both pairs had, for the most part, clear vision, placement of shots, variety, working together, covering each other. There was rotation on a mix. Oh, it was. And it was a close game too. It was a really fantastic final. Both pairs were defending well, attacking well, serving well, third, fourth shot well, everything. But I can't just go do these broad strokes. Let's get into it a little bit more. I want to focus actually what the French pair did well, and obviously what the Thai pair did well, and what possibly I might thought was the deciding factor. So I'll start with the French pair. Obviously, they lost the first game, but I still think they did this quite well in the first. I thought one key area, especially in the second, was their variation on the serve. Lots of flicks, wide serves, flat serves into the body, serves to the tee. They were varying their serves almost every single time. And what added to that is they clearly had a clear plan for what happens next. We'd have a wide serve from Gicquel, and Delrue would already be miles out wide, ready for the interception. There was a few times where Thom Gicquel would flick serve, Dechapol or Supissara on the odd side, and then push up and take the central attack, because obviously from there they would tend to go back through the middle, and Thom would then push up, drive it, especially Supissara. They'd flick her to get her out into the backcourt. Then they'd try and push the next one straight flat her to take it out here. And then they'd both be stepping up. And even within the rally, they were looking to try and do that a lot. If Dechapol was returning, they would try and send it over quickly to Supissara to get to the back. And then they would really step up and try and anything she attacked, they try to drive it at her to get her to kind of play it, and then they would both push up. So that was some really good area. And like I said, in the second game, I felt like the French did that so well that the Thais, they looked a little lost. I also think throughout the whole game, one other thing the French pair did really well, like I said, they were pushing up the court, which is definitely an area where they're so good in that area. Whenever you see them do well, pushing up onto the midcourt. I know that's a mixed doubles or a doubles thing, but the French pair, when they're doing that, they're in good form. I felt that something that I criticized them, or especially Thom Gicquel, for in the final at the Hilo Open against Christiansen and Boe, was that Thom Gicquel was overcompensating a little bit at times, and they looked a little bit uncomposed. They lost their composure a bit. In this final, and even though I know they lost, I know that Dechapol and Supissara did win, but I think throughout they maintained their composure really, really well. Their positioning, they didn't really kind of run into each other. There was some odd moments, but that's going to happen. But for the most part, very composed. Gicquel was not overcompensating, and Delrue was doing her usual little soft pushes through the front player, landing at the feet of the rear player, and then she's so good at ready to intercept. And actually, I would give Delrue credit that when she was pushed to the back, she dealt with those situations quite well. Nice, patient attack, looking for her chance to come forward. Really, really good stuff. There's not really much to say negatively about them, even though they lost. It was just, the Thai pair, let's focus on them. Like I said, first game, kept their composure. They were speedy. They were a little bit more alert to what the French were doing. In the second, I said they kind of lost their way, but that was mainly down to French pair tactically playing really good, and they did drop their speed. And in the third, I think that's something that Dechapol talked about in his post-match interview. He said that they wanted to make up for their loss to this pair in the final of the Indonesia Open, and they felt that one area they did lose out was their speed wasn't high enough. And definitely in the third game, you can see the tempo and the intensity go up, especially Dechapol. He's so good. As I always said, one of the best lateral movers, so around side to side. But he was making an even bigger effort to get underneath as many shuttles as he could on the round ahead. And I also think him and Supissara as well, stepping into things. So I felt that in the second game, like I said, they looked a little lost. The French pair were pushing up, and I thought the Thai pair was sitting back. They kind of stood a bit static, a bit stationary. In the third game, even in those same situations, they were forcing themselves, Dechapol and Supissara, to try to step in. to try to take the French pair on in that situation, to not be pushed back, to hold their ground and to push forward. And that's what led to some of those brilliant rallies, because both pairs were trying to do that, and it was almost like a boom, 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 kind of a real battle in that situation. So yeah, I think like Dechapol said, it did come down to the fact that just their intensity and their speed did go up in that third game. And then it just comes down to who can make slightly less errors, who can get a bit of luck here or there. It just those kind of things. There really wasn't much to tell between the pairs, but it was Dechapol and Supissara who came out on top. And I did find it quite funny at the end that Dechapol got down and did some push-ups, because that guy has been playing a lot of badminton, because he played with a new, I think, a 16-year-old guy, some Wedler is his surname, and they played the men's doubles. I don't know why this has happened, but I also saw that they played a 300 or something, or 100 the week before, a lower tournament where most players that are like the level of Dechapol are like resting and maybe recuperating or doing a little bit of training. He's just like, nah, I'm gonna go play another tournament, trying to complete all the side quests. So the guy is a straight up beast, and yeah, no. But in all honesty, both pairs, sorry, played really, really well. Both pairs were trying to implement their own style, and it was a real clash between it. And it was just producing some of the best badminton. If you've got time and you haven't seen that final, highly, highly recommend it. It is absolutely brilliant. Really, really good stuff.